Hello, and thank you for joining me. So, if you read the title, how can you make children want to read books by themselves? Question, are you reading books now, or is it hard for you too? Because of screen time. I know, it's hard for you too. So it's definitely hard for the children to read by themselves when they are not used to reading, and reading is still something that is a bit hard for them because they just started to learn to read, okay? So one thing I want you to know is that most of the kids will know how to read. I mean, 98% of the kids that go to school or in a country where you can see my live Facebook will know how to read. Some will know how to read quickly, and some will know later how to read, but they will know how to read. So I, for myself, don't think that it's something good that children know how to read quickly, because most of the kids know how to read. So I don't really care how quickly it is. But what is important for me, and what most of the children don't have, is one thing. Most of the children, or a lot of them, don't want to read by themselves, don't like to read by themselves. So I want to create a situation where children will love books and will want to read by themselves. And this Facebook Live will show you or give you ideas and tips how to do just that. So, my name is Revital Refaely. I'm a children's storyteller. This is what I do. I go to preschoolers and tell them amazing stories in a lot of theatrical ways. What I also do is help parents bond, connect, and create a fun and enjoyable habit of reading to their children. So fun that it's the most joyful parenting time for parents to read to their children and to parent their children. So, how can you make children love reading books by themselves? First of all, the most important thing is that when children start to read, the reading is not fun yet, okay? It's very technique. It's like when you started riding the car, okay? When you started learning to drive the car, you couldn't enjoy the view because you were first of all very concentrated in all the things you have to do with the car. The same with children that are just starting out to read. It's not enjoyable. They still have to, check letter. So what you have to do as a parent is keep on reading aloud to them in the fun daily habit of reading to your children. And not only that, not only you have to keep on reading to your children, you have to read them books that they can't read just yet. The books that actually fit them and suit them intellectually and arouse their imagination, but they can't read it yet. Even if they were excellent readers, they couldn't read it yet. But these are the books you can read them. I'm talking about books like Peter Pan, Harry Potter, books that are that have chapters and that are a bit hard for someone who just studied to read. This is one thing. You keep on reading to them. And why is it so important? Because then they continue to understand, oh my God, this book thing, it just goes better and better. The books become more and more fascinating. And if you don't read them those books, they think to themselves, oh my God, books are so childish. I mean, they're all the time the same. They're very simple. They're not interesting. Okay? So you keep on reading to them every day and read to them fascinating books. Besides you reading to them and not asking them anything, don't ask them to read you to tell you what letter this is. Don't be their teacher. Just read them for fun. And you give them books that they can read as beginner readers, which means very simple books that you put in the table and you say, this is a book you can read. And they try to read by themselves. And there are a lot of books that are especially made for readers who are just beginning their journey. So they're simple books, and they can read and have the satisfaction that they succeeded in reading something, okay? So you keep on reading to them. This is very important. And you read them the good books. They read very, very simple books. Another thing, you put them in the day, a lot of times, places, excuses for them to read. What do I mean? When they are eating, you can put them in front of them an article that is for children. You know those magazines that are written for children that just began reading? So you put an article, not a book, an article that they can read, or a magazine that they can read. You write them notes. You write them a note to school. Things, excuses for them to read. All day long, small things that they can read. So the reason you do this is so they have reasons to again practice reading. Reading simple things. Reading in a way that they succeed. So you keep on reading to them. You have to, so they don't think books are boring and simple and stupid. You keep reading to them the most fascinating books. You give them books that they can read by themselves, and you put notes and magazine for children all day long, so they have other reasons to practice to read. You go to the library, and you put it, and every 2-3 weeks you put books on the tables. Some of the books are for them, and some of the books, or one of the books, is for you to read to them. And when you read to them, you don't ask them anything. Don't ask them to read for you. Don't ask them to recognize the letters. No, just focus on reading them the best books you can, the books that will be really fascinating for them. What eventually will happen is that if you continue reading to them books that are more and more and more fascinating, and in the meanwhile they practice reading by themselves books that are suitable for their capability, after a while, and it can happen at the age of 10, 11, sometimes 12 or 9 or 8, but mostly 9, they will say to you, this I want to read myself. They will take a book that they genuinely want to read and read it by themselves. Because now they are capable of reading it, and now suddenly they want to do it by themselves because they practiced a lot. This, what I'm telling you, is from the experience I have with my 2 older kids. I have a younger kid who is 9 years old. He's not reading by himself, but we read together Harry Potter. And now we are in number 6. So really we read, and he loves books. He doesn't read by himself, but he loves them. And eventually he'll read alone. He reads by himself comics. So if you liked this issue, in a few days I'm hosting a live free Zoom meeting where I dive much more inside, and I really show you how you can create reading time, reading aloud with your children that will be much better and much fun and enjoyable than screen time. This will be the best thing you like in parenting. I promise you. I show you how I read to children, how it's fun for the parents. So all you have to do, and you can have we can have a Q&A and a talking question. So you can register in Super Storybook /Zoom Parents. Again, Super Storybook /Zoom Parents. I will put the link up and down wherever I can. I will put the link, and I really hope I see you and I meet you in a couple of days. Hope you liked it. Bye!